Ed Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about Star Wars: The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 11, and my thoughts on this episode. It's okay. Not really anything special. It was interesting seeing a returning, well, I don't know if you can call it character, but yeah, it was good to kind of see where that storyline went. But there are problems with this episode. There was a stupid fucking reason for why they destroyed Camino explained in this episode, which again does not make sense. Completely doesn't make sense. I mean, they're trying to explain something that was ridiculous in the first place. It's about Camino, okay? It's about the destruction of Camino. They are still trying to explain that stupid decision. And the reasons that they give in this episode still make no fucking sense. But episode as a whole, I thought it was interesting. I kind of liked seeing the Empire again. We ain't seen them for a bit. But it's still the Bad Batch. It's still not as good as the Clone Wars. It still feels like I'm just watching Poundland version or dollar version Star Wars. It's just not hitting that strong with me. It just, I don't know. There's just no feeling with this episode. Yes, it brings back a very important, well, not a very important character, but a character we did wonder about after what happened to it last, well, in the Clone Wars, and they didn't really explain why they brought this thing back. But I'll get into that in spoilers. But for me, episode's fine. 6 out of 10. Kind of like the beginning scene. Kind of the horror aspect was interesting. But other than that, just a plain old Bad Batch episode. Not a filler episode, I will give them that credit. But that's about all I can say. Just Bad Batch. There you go. Just bit boring. Bit interesting. And that's it. 6 out of 10 from me. Nothing really special. If you want to watch this, watch it. If you don't, not really missing much. So let's go into spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So the episode starts off with a ship that's been attacked, destroyed, whatever. We then see a clone commando running around with a stick. I don't know what they're called, those pike things. A pike, whatever. Electric pike. He's running because, well, something's chasing him. He then gets cornered, or at least, he gets captured by this creature. This creature then pretty much kills him. And the next scene is us with the Bad Batch, and the Bad Batch being pissed off at Sid because Sid didn't help them in the last episode. Now, I don't know what the hell is with Sid in this show anymore. It kind of just seems like they want us not to like her, but then they want us to like her in other episodes. Again, I don't really care. The Bad Batch shouldn't be working with Sid anyway. They should be working with the Empire, but we have to have them being the good guys. But yeah, so they're pissed off at Sid for not helping her. Sid finds out about the crashed ship, tells the Bad Batch about it, and then gives them a cut of 50% as a sorry for not getting them off the planet. But in this scene, you pretty much see the Bad Batch not happy with working with Sid anymore. They kind of do want to cut ties with her. But the problem is, if they cut ties with her, she may try to sell that information about the fact she's been working with the Bad Batch to the Empire. So I think what we're doing here with this scene is we're showing that the Bad Batch are eventually going to leave Sid somehow, because they want to do their own thing. So they do this stupid mission to go to this crash site. We then get a next scene, which is us on what's it called? Tansis or Tausis or whatever. Basically, that scientific planet where they took Mistress Sue or Nala Sue from the final episode of last season. Turns out that Nala Se is not cooperating with the Empire. She's refusing to help them with their experiments. And this new doctor arrives, Dr. Henslock. He's arrived. Now he's making new clones for the Emperor for his new project. Now, I think this project is about the Palpatine clones or about Palpatine creating Force wielding clones. But it has something to do with the Force. It has something to do with them breaking that kind of barrier in cloning, creating their own Jedi or their own Sith. That's what I think this whole scientific place is about. It's about trying to break through to that massive cloning achievement. You know, cloning Jedi. Or at least cloning bodies for Palpatine. Whatever. So this doctor goes to Nala Se. It turns out that they know each other from the past, so he must have worked with the Kaminoans in the past, in the cloning department, and he wants Nala Se to work with him on these scientific creatures that he's creating so that they can better help the Empire, basically. But Nala Se doesn't give a shit. She doesn't want to help the Empire because of what they did to Kamino. And so the doctor says, well, there are different ways to make you cooperate. So he calls up one of the other lieutenants from the Empire and asks about the president of the Kaminoans, or the Prime Minister. And turns out he's still alive, and the Empire have got him under arrest. Don't know why not just kill him, but they didn't. So he tells them to bring the Prime Minister to the science planet so he can ask him information about getting Nala Se to cooperate with the Empire. So the Bad Batch arrive on the planet. Well, next scene is the Bad Batch arriving on the planet, and they land near the wreckage. They go into the ship, not realising it's an Imperial ship. They have a look around. The ship looks like it's been decimated from the inside. Tech goes to the bridge on his own, and Omega's kind of worried about that because she doesn't think they should split up, but they do because Tech's not really scared that much. But anyway, so Wrecker and Hunter and Omega go to the back of the ship and find the cloning facility where Omega tells Hunter and Wrecker that this is Kaminoan tech and that they must have been cloning something on this ship. Tech then gets to the bridge and starts to try to find out some information about the ship and what happened. Then Wrecker, Hunter and Omega are attacked by this mysterious creature that is invulnerable to blaster fire. Now, where have we seen that type of creature or that type of, what's it called? That's it. Type of ability before. Where have we ever seen a creature that's been able to take a lot of fire from blasters or, let's say, walkers? Listen, if you haven't got the fact this is a Zillo beast, then you're an idiot. Because obviously it was a fucking Zillo beast. Now, I find it was very interesting to find this out about what happened to the Zillo beast. Now we all know it died, but at the end of that Clone Wars episode, the Doctor said, "You want me to clone the beast?" Now, why haven't we got the female Doctor involved in this cloning project? I don't know. Probably because she's a woman and they don't want to make women look bad. But there you go. But they didn't have women in the Empire working at the science base. So why again have you not got the Doctor from the Clone Wars episode? Anyway. So this beast attacks them. They realise they can't really penetrate it with their blasters. Tech then manages to run into it when it's eating on electricity. And it's getting bigger because it's eating electricity. Tech then fires a blaster shot at one of the engine parts. It blows up. The creature then runs out. Hunter and Wrecker chase after it whilst Tech and Omega check the ship's systems to find out what's going on. Tech then figures out what this creature is, which is the Zillo beast, and then when Hunter and Wrecker are attacking the creature then goes to this little village electro plant thing and then it starts eating the electricity, and then you finally see the mini big version of a Zillo Beast. So they did in fact clone the Zillo Beast. Now, my problem with the whole cloning the Zillo Beast storyline is, what's the point? Now, Tech explains what he finds from the records of the ship, that you can take a lot of... You can turn the Zillo Beast's armour and stuff into, dangerous weapons. That's fine. I still don't get why you'd clone the Zillo Beast. Why would you not try to clone, the parts of the Zillo Beast, like its skin? Because you can do that. Especially when you've got this far in clone, you can clone parts of someone's body. Why not just clone parts of the Zillo Beast's body and then take that material off? That would be better and safer. Why clone an entire beast to do that? That's just a question I have, but fuck it. So, Hunter and Wrecker started to attack the Zillo Beast to try to stop it from attacking this small little village. The Empire then turned up in 3 Venators, which I thought was way too much firepower. But again, this is how much the Empire is taking this seriously. And a bunch of gunships and V-Wings then head down to the surface, and Hunter and Wrecker are then chased by gunships and V-Wings. And what I don't get about the whole, the Bad Batch using stun. Yeah, they might use stun on their brothers, but what about their brothers in the ships? Because they're not using stun when they blow up V-Wings. So they are killing their brothers in the air, but they're not killing their brothers with a pistol. It doesn't make sense. Either have the clones kill... either have the Bad Batch kill their brothers, or don't. You can't have them kill them in one part of war and in another part stun them. That just seems ridiculous to me. But anyway, they get attacked. The Empire then sends down a small transport that has that stun ray thing attached to it so it can stun the Zillo Beast. They do that. They knock out the Zillo Beast. They capture the Zillo Beast. And then Wrecker and Hunter then head back to try to get Omega and Tech. Omega and Tech run out of the ship, and the ship then explodes. Hunter and Wrecker pick up Omega and Tech and then get chased off by a couple of V-Wings and then hyperspace out of there. The Empire then send a bunch of clone commandos to kidnap this entire village to stop them telling everybody about the Zillo Beast. And I think what would have been a faster solution, and what I think they should have done, is just massacre the village. Again, this is the Empire. Have the Empire massacre a village. Why not? They're the bad guys. Taking a bunch of villagers, why not just kill them and blame like a terrorist group? Why are you making the Empire seem nice at this point? What are they going to end up doing with these people? They could do scientific experiments on them, but, Again, you want to show the Empire is a very bad, is the most evil group. Massacring a village would pretty much show that. And all they're doing this for is because they saw a bloody experiment. Again, you can go there with this. This is from the Clone Wars. We saw dark shit in the Clone Wars. But this is Disney, and they need to be all childish unless it comes to your sexual preference, and then they want to get into that. But anyway, so the Bad Batch Tech figures out what the Empire is doing, which is they're cloning Zillo Beasts and trying to use their skin to make weapons or whatever. They're trying to turn these things into weapons. But then we get the dumbest fucking sentence. This is the reason the Empire destroyed Kamino. They destroyed Kamino to control cloning. You had the fucking control. The fucking Kaminoans weren't gonna do... This is how stupid this entire fucking thing with Kamino is. Again, the Empire fucking controlled Kamino. Why destroy it? So you've just taken all that equipment and just put it somewhere else. The best fucking reason you can say the Empire did this was just to make the cloning facilities secret. Take it somewhere secret that nobody would know about. Because everybody would know about, the Kaminoans and the cloning tech. That makes sense. Saying the Empire destroyed Kamino just to control cloning is so fucking stupid. They already had fucking control. They had all the fucking control over it. The Kaminoans wanted to work with them, and if they didn't want to work with them, all they had to do is slaughter them and take over the fucking planet. The Empire already had control. There was no fucking point in destroying Kamino. And they just cannot accept that. The people who write this show are fucking morons. Because Dave Filoni is not writing this show. He's just a producer, people. So if anybody says this guy is involved, he is not. That's why this show feels flat. That's why this show doesn't feel like the Clone Wars. Most of the people who worked on the fucking Clone Wars are not involved in this show. It is the dumbest fucking... anyway. So Antis tells Tech to send out all the information to Echo and Rex, and the next scene is the Prime Minister of Kamino being brought to the science planet, and the Doctor, what's his name again? Hemslock asks him, can he persuade Nala Su to work with the Empire? And the Prime Minister says, fine, I'll help you, but I want my freedom. And the way to get to Nala Su is to find Omega, basically. So basically, Nala Su must be her mother. I mean, that's just obvious to me. Oh my god, they're not going to make Nala Su the mother of all clones, are they? Oh god, if they do that, fine, fuck it. But that's what I think. But that's how the Prime Minister says how to get Nala Su to work with them. They need to find Omega. So that's a problem, because the Admiral whatever told them the Bad Batch died. Well, told the Empire the Bad Batch died. So I don't know, maybe he's going to tell them the truth. Who the fuck knows? But that's what's going to happen now. They're going to try to find Omega so they can get Nala Su to work with the Empire for their new cloning project, which is either cloning Palpatine or cloning Jedi. And that's my suspicion. That is what I think is going to happen. And that's the end of my review. It's not a fantastic episode, but it's not a bad episode. It's definitely not a fair episode, but again, it doesn't feel as good as a normal episode, in my opinion. And it's a 6 out of 10. And that's the end of my review. If you like this video, give it a like. If you don't like this video, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. Entertainment Soldier, bye.